Hey everybody, so we continue to work on validators. I was like thinking how like every one of my, you know, component managers sort of thing, um, every one of them is implemented slightly different. And I think most of them sort of do this where I set up a form group at the beginning and assign it. But now I kind of need to change the way that works because I'm trying to set up sort of a system for setting up validators. So I need it to be more programmatic as opposed to configuration. So this is sort of a configuration. Line 36 to 40 is sort of a configuration, but then like what we're doing here is more programmatic. And that is sort of the what's dangerous about like getting a ton of work done, like where you build, like let's say you're working on a team, there's 10 of you guys, and you all are just burning through, getting stories done and all that, and then you figure out, oh no, the way we're setting up forms is different. It's a tremendous amount of work to then go back and refigure all that stuff out, and that's the hard thing. And then I was also thinking today about how when you like Angular is just a really good framework for building web applications, but web applications is just like kind of, for the most part, most web applications, or at least the sort of pattern we're going on, what that we're having are actually just like kind of the front to some other engine, right? So like in this case, we have ThreeJS. So this web application is just the interface to ThreeJS, and then at some point we'll have a physics engine here too, and then like the last job I had, where it was just the front of like a data display. You know, basically we were showing tons of different charts and stuff, and so D3, it was just a front of D3, something that just gathered up information user desires and then format them in a way that D3 could present data the way D3 does. And then before that, it was the project was just a front to a finance project engine. So I think the pattern is that you have the problem. So the thing is that web applications are getting more complicated, and they continue to get more complicated because what's required of them is growing, um, and there's just no end in sight. And now we've gotten more into like like there's a lot of accessibility and those sorts of things, right? So um, then the complexity of all of that is kind of all handled by the Angular and Angular uh, what is it, the all these images and stuff like that, Angular material and things like that, and they're handling all kinds of stuff like that. But then there's still the interface to whatever you're kind of exposing or giving users an exposure to, and that is sort of the standard pattern. And most places actually do need somebody who's really good at whatever you're giving the interface to, and somebody who's really good at Angular, and somebody who's very good at JavaScript. Typically you need those three things, and that's just not even including the back end stuff. So, anyways, I was thinking about that today. But so today, what I need to do is set up a validation um, interface. And my interfaces have gotten to the point where I do need to break them up. And it seems like the thing that probably they should be broken up is like camera, light, and mesh, render, and scene are all ThreeJS interfaces. And then I think common is just, yeah, like the form lookup interface. And then uh, animation doesn't really have anything to do with three. Well, I guess animation does have to do with three.js. So, anyways, animation, camera, light, mesh, render, and scene probably should all be in one folder, and then common and validation should probably be in a different folder, and that would really help with that. So I think that's good enough for today if I can do that. So I need to go to my packages.json and basically create myself a script that's going to, so I'm looking to generate an interface, and I want it to be in interfaces, and I want it, I think interfaces is the right place, right? Yeah, and I want it to be called validation, so let's just go ahead and run that. And I guess I should rename it val interface. So I always leave one in here. For this project, I always leave one in here just so that I don't have to go fumble around figuring out how to set this up. But in like my other project that I'm working on for voice API, I leave them all in there. But there would just be so many of them, I don't do it here. And the reason I do it this way is so that I can ensure that I have all the right CDKs and compilers and material and all this stuff. All these dependencies and dead dependencies are the correct ones. I don't have to worry about that if I'm running it within the package script. And by the way, Angular 19 is probably going to be out in about somewhere between 15 and probably 25 to 30 days. And that's going to be neat. And so anyways, npm run val interface. So I'm expecting it to show up in here. And there it is. And I guess most of them I actually call interface. I don't think it matters. Yeah, I'm just going to delete it. I might as well stay with the standard that I've come up with. It's just easy enough validation. I guess dash interface. And let's try that again. I'm not using that anywhere yet, and I know I guess I might as well add. So basically, I just want to export. I don't want to type, and then these are usually validation. Types, and I honestly just don't even have the vaguest idea how many of these there's going to be. I could imagine there being 100, 200. I could imagine there being 4. I just don't have any grip on that. So I know it's positive floating, positive float. So those are the 2 types that I support at the moment. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do our refactor. So I'm just going to say 3. So anything that's 3 related, and then showtime. I do not know what I just did there. Showtime. So these are showtime specific, and I know that I want to move my showtime, my validation in there, and I believe I want to move my animation, and it should offer to fix them all for me. So yes, and let's see, and it's all happy, and it saved it and all that. Sometimes it saves, sometimes it doesn't. So this one should be a little bit more intense because I'm moving. Oh wait, common needs to go. Oh wait, animation doesn't need to go there. We'll move. So animation is moved. Common needs to go in here. So anyways, I've always kind of gone by the rule of thumb that if I have more than 5 files, and I don't include unit test files, but if I have more than 5 files, I start considering creating folders and re-architecting. If I have more than 10, it's absolutely imperative that I do that. And if I have like more than 15, then it's too late. We blew it. It gets very, very difficult to try to just all kinds of weird issues start coming once you start getting more than that many in there. It's just a rule of thumb, and all kinds of problems go away if you follow it. But like I said, I try not to have more than, at 5 I start to really heavily consider, and I'm like 10, it's on like Donkey Kong. So I'm gonna move all these. Should offer to save all the imports, update them for me. Boom. All right, so we have moved everything we got. I probably should commit this because it's just such a big, like it's 35 files are updated, and they're not doing a whole lot. And it's just going to be a huge distraction. So I'm going to commit this. Let's see, git. I'm just committing everything. I'm assuming everything's right since it's compiling. I don't think there's any reason to. It wouldn't. If there's one thing TypeScript and Angular are good at, it's finding broken links, broken imports. Status. Git commit -m. This is video 262. Let's do 2. Adds validation, interface, and moves interfaces into folders. And that is that. Anyways, yeah, 12 minutes, not too bad. Happy coding. Bye, everybody.